What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What it do, what it is. This is your boy Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose, a very friendly dose, your Philadelphia Eagles dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. And I am super grateful to be here with you guys. You know the energy, you know the vibes. I always start the show with gratitude. You can be anywhere in the world this afternoon. You can be anywhere. You got options, but you still kick it with me. I'm grateful for that. And I don't take that for granted, man. The power is always in the hands of the people. The same people that build you up are the same people that can tear you down. So I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. You know what your job is. You know what your role is here in the Chalk It Up Sports ecosystem. Smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed, especially if you're new. And if you've been watching my content for a long time and you're not subscribed, man, you're missing out. You can be a part of this thing. Don't be just a stranger. Don't be an acquaintance. Be a friend. Be a family member. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way. You know, I was supposed to go live yesterday, right? We went live yesterday early talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and all their drama and shenanigans. And we were supposed to be live yesterday at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for some of you guys. But I experienced a crazy power outage in my neighborhood. Several blocks were blocked off. It was traffic everywhere. Power lines was down. We didn't have any crazy weather where I was at, so I'm not sure what went down in the city or where I live rather. But we're here, and I appreciate you guys for always rocking with me, man. So we're not going to waste too much time here. We're going to be here for about 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to talk about your Philadelphia Eagles. They are 8-2 on the NFL season. We have 7 games left, people. 7 games left. I feel like we just got here. And I feel like we've gone through such a bevy of emotions and feelings as it pertains to the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Those first 4 weeks, those first 5 weeks were very, very turbulent. We had no idea which version of the Philadelphia Eagles we would get coming out of that bye week, right? They were 2-2, and things could have got better or things could have got worse. And lo and behold, things got better, and the Philadelphia Eagles have been on a 6-game winning streak. They've been able to defeat the Browns. They've been able to defeat the Giants, the Jaguars, the Cowboys, the Bengals, the Commanders, right? They got some really good wins on the resume, right? Beating the Bengals, who has a really, really hot offense. beating the Washington Commanders, who've been one of the better teams in the NFL this year and a divisional rival. You know what I mean? And even in that 2-2 stretch, right? You beat the Green Bay Packers, a team that we expect to see probably again in the playoffs. So the Philadelphia Eagles have some quality wins on the resume, and they have another opportunity to put another quality win on the resume against the Los Angeles Rams, the Matthew Stafford led, the Sean McVay led Los Angeles Rams, right? It's been some time since Aaron Donald has been in the building, and they've been trying to find their way defensively after him. And they believe they have a young guy in Jared Verse who's going to be their linchpin or their anchor on the defensive line. And he's a really, really good player, a really, really good rookie. But I believe our rookie's been better in Quinyon Mitchell. And we're going to get into that, right? That's later on in the conversation. But what we're going to do here today, we're going to do a tale of the tape, right? Let's go through some of these live chats real quick, though. I want to tap in with some of you guys. Eagles Girl 117. She says, "Hello, Tone, go Birds. Hey, what's going on? Fanny, what's going on? AJ Harris, Sweet Chin Music, Hero to Green. Aaron Baskerville, Gibbs, what's going on? Daquan, what's going on? You know what's so funny? I find it so funny how, because Daquan says, what are we saying? He says, the Bengals are ass, bro. No. The Bengals can hang 30 on anybody's head. Anybody. The problem is their defense. Their defense is lackluster, but when it comes to their offense and that quarterback, we can't deny what they're capable of doing. Joe Burrow's been having a spectacular season. Their offense has been putting up points. They've been putting up numbers. That's not something that's been hard for them to do. Their defense kind of struggles. They can't really stop anybody, and they can't really run the ball. So they have their limitations. But let's not pretend the Bengals can't walk in anybody's trap and knock them off. Let's not pretend that. Let's not be facetious about this. I know Daquan is what are you, a Lions fan? You in the wrong live chat. You're in the wrong live chat. Because remember, you in enemy territory. Talk to me nice. You may get the pause put on you via live chat. Talk to us nice. Be humble. Be grateful. Be humble. That's all it is. Be humble. You dig what I'm saying? Just be humble. So nonetheless, we have, and here's another thing too, right? Here's another misconception that people have. People assume that there are just great teams all over the place. They're like, the league is filled with more average teams, the good teams, than elite or great teams, right? So on anybody's schedule, you can break it down and say, who did you really beat, right? There's only about maybe 4 or 5 teams we really respect. Let's be honest. There's only about maybe 4 teams in the NFL, 5 teams that we really respect or that we really believe can win it all, right? That's the Chiefs. That's the Bills. Maybe the Ravens. The Lions, the Eagles. And then after that, you can start nitpicking like, okay, they're weak here. They can't do this. Okay, they lost to this person. There aren't many teams in this league that are just elite. Right? I'm pretty sure if I really wanted to, I could nitpick the Detroit Lions schedule, but I won't, because it's a lazy argument. They play who they play, they beat who they beat, and they're taking care of business. I won't discredit the Lions because they're taking care of business. I leave it to the immature fans to discredit teams for who they played. I leave that for the immature sports takes. This is the NFL. Anybody can get got. So, nonetheless, let me drink my tea. There we go. Hey, Daquan, where you from, player? I got to know where you from. And don't lie. Where you from? K. Ordick, what's going on? Fanny, Aaron Baskerville. Nina, Miss Nina, how you doing? Hope all is well. Smooth, what's going on, big dog? He said Detroit. He probably from the suburbs of Detroit. He probably from the suburbs of Detroit. You know how some people from Allentown and they say they're from Philly? He probably from the outskirts. Oh man. Nonetheless, though. Yo, RJ, you know what I'm talking about? People who live in, what is it? They live in Plymouth, but they say they from Philly. You're not from Philly, bro. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, my man, Big Dog Reese is in the building with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says if we can contain Puka and Cup, this will set the tone for Baltimore and the Steelers. I trust our defense, but I trust Fangio more. Yeah, for sure. I think our defense can run anybody. I really, really do. Our defense can run anybody. Shout out to Big Dog too. I appreciate him. DeQuan says I'm from the 6 Mile, fam. I don't know what that is, so I don't care. Let me stop messing with DeQuan, man, before he get upset. Anyway, Kyle Corsi says, Tone, I'm a Bucks County kid. Anyway, nonetheless, let's get back on task. So, Rams this week, right? We're going to do a tale of the tape. We're going to break this down here. The Rams are coming off of a win against the New England Patriots. They were dominating that game pretty much through and through. But then they allowed the Patriots to kind of get back in it, right? The Rams are a very funny team because you look at them and you say, okay, they have talent, but there's kind of been a disconnect. They do have their limitations. So we're going to get into the tail of the tape here. I want to break down who the Rams are and who they have been. So we're going to bring something on the screen here, and we're going to do this really smooth. There we go. Los Angeles Rams. Let's look at some of the numbers here, right? And look, numbers aren't the end all be all, right? Numbers never tell the whole story. But again, we just want to find out who they've been numerically. So this is the Rams. These are their team stats, okay? So let's zoom in here. Let's get this ad off the screen. Let's look at who they've been on offense. Let's check this out. So the Rams, points per game. Wow, they've been a pretty mediocre team. So it says here, the Rams are ranked 21st in the league in points per game on offense. They average 21 points per game. They average 336 yards per game, which is 17th in the league. That's mediocre. Points per play, yards per play, below average, mediocre. Third down conversion percentage. This is where we can get them. This is where the Eagles can get them. Third down conversion percentage. So unfortunately, the Rams are converting their third downs at a 33.9% clip, which is 27th in the league. The Rams have one of the worst third down offenses in the NFL. And then as far as their fourth down offense, they're pretty much in the middle of the league. They're 17th, just below average. They convert fourth downs at a 57% clip. And when it comes to their red zone scoring, they're converting their red zone attempts at a 50% clip, which is 25%, which is ranked 25th in the league, excuse me. So with all this talent that the Rams offense has with Cooper, Kupp, and Puka Nakobe, and granted, they've been dealing with injuries a lot. Cooper Kupp has been in and out of the lineup. Puka Nakobe has been in and out of the lineup, right? I do like their running back room in Kyron Williams, and they got that other kid they drafted from Michigan. I forget his name. But is it Blake Corum? They drafted Blake Corum as well. I do like their running back in Kyron Williams, but they've struggled they've struggled situationally, right? There are certain numbers that just don't lie, right? When I look at your third down conversions, that don't lie. That's who you are, right? Those are the signs to me of a good team and a bad team, of how well you convert your third downs and how well you defend third down. So for them to be ranked 27th in the league in third down conversion rate, that's alarming to me. And then when you think about the way the Eagles defense has been playing, how they don't let teams get big numbers, you can't really score on them like that. They're really good on third down. They're really good situationally, third down and fourth down. This doesn't seem like a good matchup for the Rams. It doesn't. Situationally, of course. Now, when you look at their weapons, you look on paper, you say, okay, Puka, Cooper, and Matthew Stafford, okay, they got weapons. The Eagles should be on a high alert, and they should, right? But again, when you factor it in to how the Eagles defense has been playing, the Rams, in my humble opinion, are at the disadvantage. They're at the disadvantage, if you ask me. Now, let's get to their defensive numbers. And again, their defense, just like their offense, has been pretty mediocre to below average. So defensively, they're allowing opponents to score 23.9 points per game. That's 22nd in the league. Not good. Opponent yards per game, 350, which is 23rd in the league. That's not good. Opponent third down conversion, 37.93%, which is 16th in the league. That's right down the middle. So their third down defense is right smack dab in the middle. They have a mediocre or an average third down defense. And then their fourth down defense is the worst in the league. Now, here's the trap here. Just because they have the worst fourth down defense doesn't mean you should be cocky and try to take advantage of it every chance you get. You want to be smart. You want to be calculated. You don't want to think yourself out of the game. You want to play the game and let the game dictate, let the flow of the game dictate what's going to happen or what you should do. Don't just go for fourth down just because they suck at it, right? Be smart. If you got a chance to put points on the board early, you do so. Now, if you're at the goal line and it's fourth down, hey, I'm going for that. Because at worst, if I don't get it, they start with the ball on the 1 yard line. So again, situationally, right? That's all it is. This game is going to come down to situational football, like most football games do. But I think specifically in this matchup, if the Eagles defense can continue to do what they've done, that Rams offense will struggle. If the Eagles offense can continue to do what they've been doing, that Rams defense will struggle. So again, I think the Eagles are the better team top to bottom. I think it's no real comparison. You are what your record says. And again, context matters, but 8-2 versus 5-5, that's such a large disparity where to the point where I don't care who you played. The bottom line is you're not as good as this team. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And, some people like to discredit the Eagles, right? Because of the way the schedule fell for them, right? They like to do that. But the reality is thus. At the end of the day, you got to show up. At the end of the day, you got to execute. Let's not forget, the Washington offense was a top 5 offense all year. All year. All year. All year. That Bengals offense is a top 10 offense all year. And the one thing the Eagles have never really gotten the respect for is for their defense, especially over the past couple seasons. They've never really gotten the respect for their defense, and obviously, rightfully so. Last year, the defense was awful. So when you go up against a guy like Joe Burrow, who the Eagles have a history of allowing good quarterbacks to carve them up, this year that has not been the case. That's not been the case. That's just the reality. You feel what I'm saying? Especially over the past several weeks. So, yeah, we can nitpick everyone's schedule, but you got to show up. And that Washington game was a game where some people picked Jaden Daniels and said, hey, I expect Washington to win this game and so on and so forth. And then when the Eagles won, now they want to say he's a rookie. Now they want to say, oh, the Washington Commanders are limited. Oh, they only got one weapon. And so, hold on, time's out. That was a top 10, top 5 offense all year. The Washington Commanders have been operating at a top 5, top 7 level all year long. But then when they met us, we turned them back to a pumpkin. You dig what I'm saying? So, again, people can nitpick all they want, right? They really, really can. But the bottom line is eventually you're going to have to see them. Eventually you're going to have to see them. And quite frankly, I'm taking the Eagles defense over anybody's defense in the league. There's only one defense in the league that I would probably say is comparable, and that's the Steelers defense. That Steelers defense. And I'm talking about teams that are relevant. That Steelers defense is legitimate, right? Back to front, front to back, side to side. They're very, very good. I think the Eagles have a better secondary, but I think the Steelers are a defense that I really, really like watching. I think the Eagles have a better defense than the Lions. I don't think it's a conversation. I really, really don't. We have a better secondary. Our linebackers are playing better. I mean, you guys don't have Aiden. The Lions don't have Aiden Hutchinson anymore. He's hurt for the season. They did go get Zadarius Smith, right? And that's not to say the Lions defense doesn't play well, but you know, they've had to operate with, they've been operating with a lot of big leads. So I'm curious to know who that defense will be when they actually got to make a play. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious to see what that defense will look like when they actually got to play, not when they got a 17, 20-point lead. You see, I've seen the Eagles defense operate under stress. I've seen the Eagles defense operate in maybe not so favorable situations, and they've stood tall every single time. I want to know what that Lions defense will be when they got to get a stop, when they got to win the game. I'm curious to know who they will be, because that offense is humming. And again, I'm not one to discredit anybody. That Lions team is playing at a high clip, right now. But we're going to find out who they really are. Because last time I checked, every time they see the Eagles, they lose. Last time I checked, every time, what is it? We beat them 2 years in a row, or whatever it is. We played them in 2022, and we played them in 2020, right? Like the Lions, I mean, what they're doing now, it's cute. It's cool. It's good for their city. You know, Detroit has been in football hell for a long time. So I understand when you finally see success, you want to hold on to it for dear life. I get it. I totally understand what it's like. Well, actually, I don't. I take that back. I don't know what it's like to be in football hell. I don't know what that's like. I really don't know what that's like. Damn. It must suck to be a Lions fan for all your life. I mean, if you were born yesterday, then it's great to be a Lions fan. But most of your life wearing that blue and going to Ford Field, and you know, it must have been really hard. Thank God for Dan Quinn. Who else? Thank God for Ben Johnson. Who else, man? What's that GM name? Thank God for Brad Holmes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I get it. It's frustrating. So when you finally see success and you taste it and you know what it looks like, it's addictive. It's really, really addictive. I totally understand. You start talking crazy, you start getting cocky, you start talking at the side of your mouth. I get it. When you win, it can blind you a little bit. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, it's not easy living in Detroit. You know, Detroit used to be a thriving city. Used to be. You know, now, I mean, I don't mean no disrespect, but maybe if the Lions won more, they let me not go that far, man. Now we're getting into other stuff. Let me not go that far, man. All I know is Nick Sirianni is 2-0 versus Dan Quinn. Just saying. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, every time we beat them in Detroit. Right? Am I tripping? Can somebody remind me? I don't want to misspeak. Am I tripping? Somebody help me out. But nonetheless, let me not get ahead of myself. And this is why this live stream is so important. Because my ultimate goal for today's live stream is to keep the main thing, right? It's going to be so important for the Philadelphia Eagles to stay focused. And I believe they will. But it's going to be so important for them to just continue to stack the days, stack the wins, fly below the radar, As of right now, all the pressure's on Detroit. All the pressure's on Detroit. You see, with great expectations comes great responsibility. We're going to find out if Detroit can handle it. Because now people have officially crowned Detroit as being the best team in the NFL. The top 5 teams in the NFL right now, as of late, have been Detroit, Buffalo, Philadelphia, Kansas City. I would throw Pittsburgh in there. Pittsburgh understands pressure. Philadelphia understands pressure. Kansas City understands pressure. Buffalo understands pressure. Detroit, do you guys understand pressure? Do you guys know how to handle expectation? It's not easy. It's not easy when people finally expect you to do something. And sometimes when people finally have expectations placed on them, they don't deliver. Like I said, Kansas City, they've battled expectation. They're very familiar with it. The Eagles, very familiar with expectation. They've dealt with it. They've handled it a lot. 20 plus years. Buffalo, you make it to 4 straight Super Bowls, 3 straight Super Bowls. They know what expectation is like. AFC championship appearances, they've been in the mix for a while. Pittsburgh, goes without saying, Pittsburgh is expectation. They are the quintessential franchise in the league. But Detroit, as far as I'm concerned, you're still bottom feeders. You're still bottom feeders hoping to be taken seriously. You're still bottom feeders. You're still the gum on the bottom of the NFL shoe. We're just waiting for that shoe to drop. It's exciting watching you guys play, though. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love watching that man play. I'm a big Amon-Ra St. Brown fan. Sam Laporta, chef's kiss. Great player. Brian Branch, that's a really great player, too. Tyrion Arnold, he's not better than Quinyon Mitchell. Aiden Hutchinson, beast. Penny Sewell, beast. Y'all got players. Brad Holmes has drafted phenomenally. But remember, you're still the Detroit Lions. You're still the Detroit Lions. Just be grateful you are where you are. Be grateful, appreciate it, bask in it. Be respectful. You're going to get there. Your turn's going to come. Your turn's going to come. Don't worry. We see you putting up the big numbers. We see you. It's exciting. It gets the blood pumping. It gets the people going. It gets the people going. But remember, you're still the gum on the bottom of the NFL shoe. You're still that you're still that fire extinguisher that nobody uses. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, enough with the trolling. Even that's not really my style, but enough with the trolling. Or maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Let me get to some of these super chats. My man Shark is in the building. He said the Saints were a top-tier offense also before the Eagles flew by. Yo, facts. They tried crowning the New Orleans Saints in week 2. They tried it. They tried crowning the Saints. And when they met us, we broke them. And they ain't been the same since. That was the hottest offense in football, was it not? They was averaging 40 points a game. They had like 12 straight drives with a touchdown, whatever it was. They were dominating opponents. And then they met the Eagles. And they got reminded of who they were. That's all it is. That's all it is. Sometimes you got to remind them who they really are. Just ask Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Just ask them. We had to remind them who they really were. Stark with another super chat. He says the Lions won't win out. They play Vikings, 49ers, and Green Bay. Them boys will be playing hard. Even if the Lions get the number 1 seed, our record on the road is perfect. Yes, that's a good point. Well, not perfect, but it's really good. Because we lost on the road in Tampa. But since then, yeah, we only got 1 loss on the road. 1 loss. So, yeah, man. Look, man, I don't care if we play in the Link. I don't care if we play in Detroit. We've done it before. We've beaten them in Detroit. I would love to play them in Detroit. I would love to break their hearts. I would love to break their hearts like the Ford manufacturers broke their hearts years ago. Oh, let me chill. Let me stop. Let me do it. Now, let me not. Now I'm getting too far. Now I'm getting too far. Now I'm going too far. Now I'm getting into politics and I'm getting into the economy. Let me stop. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Because some people's lives were changed permanently when Ford left Detroit. I don't want to get into that, man. That's a soft spot for that's a soft spot for some people in Detroit. It's a soft spot. Let me stop. Let me not do that. People's lives were changed forever. I don't want to do that. Anyway, Matthew Stafford, right? Let's break down Matthew Stafford and what he's been doing this year. So Matthew Stafford right now, let's bring that up on screen. Matthew Stafford is a really good quarterback. Very good quarterback, man. Super Bowl champion. One of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen. But let's really break down what Matthew Stafford has been and who he's been all season long. All right? So, this is Matthew Stafford's numbers, right? Matthew Stafford on the season, he's completing 66% of his passes, 66.5 to be exact, over 2,500 passing yards, averaging 7 yards an attempt, 13 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His touchdown to interception ratio was awful. It's just below 2-1, which is not the worst, but you really want that touchdown. You really want that touchdown to interception ratio to be 3-1. That's the goal, 3-1. But Matthew Stafford, just based off of his production, right? He's getting the yards, right? He's getting the passing yards, but they're not putting up points. They're not putting up points. Let me mute this. There we go. They're not putting up points. That's the struggle, right? They haven't been good in the red zone. They're 25th in the league in the red zone. And the Eagles, on the other hand, have a top 5 red zone defense, have the number 1 defense in terms of opponent yards per game. They're 6th in the league in opponent points per game, only giving up 17.9 points per game. The Eagles, top 10 third down defense. Opponents are only converting 34.7% of the time. They're ranked 8th. Now, the Eagles' fourth down defense, that's below average, 61.5%. But they've been improving week by week. But still, you're ranked 19th. You're ranked 19th in the league in terms of fourth down defense. Maybe we expect or we'll see the Lions try to take advantage of that. The Eagles' red zone defense, like I said, 5th in the league, top 5. It's going to be a really, really, really fun game to watch. But regardless, though, and it's a road game, too. That's another thing that we can't forget. It's a road game. So, and look, we've won in LA before. We know when we play in LA, we make it a home game like most people. The LA Rams don't even have a real fan base. They don't. Every time someone goes to LA, that the away team takes over their track. I'm convinced the LA Rams never have a home game ever because they don't have a legit fan base. Did you guys see that parade when they won the Super Bowl? That parade was piss poor. Piss poor. Where are we here? Let's get to some of your comments. Dank Bird Gang says Detroit hasn't won anything since my late grandmother was 7. Jeez. What? Wait, what? Hold on, time's up. Okay, so it says here the Detroit Lions, along with the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans and Jaguars, have never, ever reached the big game. Man, they never even got there? Shit, we got there at least, 4 or 5 times, right? Dang. They never even got there? We got there at least 4 times, right? Or 3 times. I'm trying to remember. It don't make a difference. But they haven't even gotten there? Oh, come on, man. They got to take it one game at a time. They can't even talk to us. Let's see. The Big Ten Repper says, yeah, Detroit shouldn't be comparing cities with nobody. Daquan says, laughing my ass off, what the hell's in Philly? I don't know, prosperity. Prosperity. NFC championship banners, a Super Bowl banner. You dig what I'm saying? Something small. Nothing major. Trade Track says, leave them be about the auto industry, Tone. I told you I'm gonna leave it alone. Man. Beat all odds fantasy says, I got the Colts money line this week. Ooh, good luck with that. Anthony Chops says, low blow, Tone. That was a low blow. Dominic Giovinazzo says, not gonna lie, Ford Field is really loud. Yeah, we've been there. We've been there. Ain't about nothing. Chaotic Green says, didn't they try to crown them and Miami last year? They tried. My man Jay Love, what's going on, Jay? He says, I definitely want home field. Winning in January in Philly is very difficult. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. I want home field. I talk trash and I talk a little ish, but I want home field advantage if that's possible. Detroit, they have a tough leg of the season coming up. So I have a hard time believing Detroit wins out. If Detroit wins out, I'm be like, whoa, okay, they might just do it. I don't think they will. Matter of fact, I know they won't. They're not going to win out. So the Eagles, what they got to do is keep pace. And again, this goes back to my point of keeping the main thing. The Philadelphia Eagles have the Los Angeles Rams this Sunday. Sunday Night Football, right? It's Sunday night, right? Let me double check that. Yep, Sunday Night Football, NBC on Peacock. Sunday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles, I believe they are favorites -3. I also want to talk about the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. So as of right now, let me see if they updated it. Okay, so let's see what we got. So Devontae Smith, he's obviously the big name on the injury report. Him and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is on the injury report with an ankle. He was limited, but I'm not really worried about that. I think he'll be fine. Milton Williams, Devontae Smith, Jalix Hunt, Bryce Huff, who's actually getting surgery. So Bryce Huff is going to be done for maybe the next few weeks or so. Maybe we get Bryce Huff back over the next 3 weeks. That means Jalix Hunt is going to get a lot more snaps. Britton Covey, he's been a full participant. He's back off IR. You feel what I'm saying? So Nakobe Dean, he was limited. I think he'll be fine. We know Jalen Hurts is going to play. I expect Milton Williams to play. He said, I'll see y'all Sunday. But Devontae Smith, that's the name. That's the name that stands out. Whoa. Hold on, time's up. Hold on. Damn. Hold on. My man, Jay Love. What the hell, Jay? Thank you, man. Damn, Jay. You didn't have to do that, brother. You know, I'm totally content with $4.99 super chats. You know, I'm humble, man. I really appreciate this. Jay Love sent over a $50 super chat. Hold on, what's today? Thursday? You got paid today, huh? You got paid today, didn't you? You got paid early for the holiday, didn't you? Listen, let me get your business, Jay. Let me get your business. Jay said, Tone, my number one nemesis. It's funny. Me and Jay Love been going back and forth in this space for what? Over 2 years? Dating back to what? 2021? Right, Jay? Am I tripping, Jay? Me and you been beefing since 2021, 2022, something like that. I can't remember exactly when. But me and Jay Love been nemesis for about 2 to 3 years. Am I right? Am I right? 2017? Damn, for real? I wasn't doing content in 2017. No way. I started doing content in 2020. It got to be 2020. Because I didn't start making content until 2020. 2017, I was fresh out of college. You know, so yeah. But regardless, though, my man Jay Love, through all our bickering, through all of our beefs, Jay Love always stood 10 toes, and he's always been a supporter of the show. That's one thing I respect. That's one thing I respect. That regardless of what's said and how we argue about the game and argue about quarterbacks, Jay Love is always legit and he supports. That's why I respect Jay Love. He says, Tone, my number one nemesis, love seeing you talk about that cursed poverty franchise known as the 76ers lately. They're low-key ruining a great Eagles season. Trust me, they ain't ruining my season. I'll tell you that right now. I would gladly sacrifice. Listen, y'all. Hear me out on this, right? Hear me out. And some of y'all might not call me a real Sixers fan when I say this. Some of y'all might not call me a real Sixers fan when I say this. But hear me out. I would gladly sacrifice 10 years of terrible Sixers basketball for Super Bowl championships. Now, I don't want to put a number on how many, but let's just focus on this season, right? If I got to sacrifice the 76ers for a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl victory, I'm putting their ass on the chopping block. I'm sending their ass to the gulag. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. If I gotta sacrifice Sixer success for Eagle success, I'm sending the Sixers to the gulag to never be seen again. Am I a psycho? It's okay to say yeah. That some of my diehard Sixers fans might be like, Tone, you out of pocket, bro. You wrong for that. But I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. In the city of Philadelphia, Super Bowls do the trick. Super Bowls do the trick in Philadelphia. Let me finish reading his super chat. He says, anyways, do you honestly think our Birds are the better team top to bottom than Detroit? Okay. I'm glad you asked that question. That's a really, really good question. So he says, are the Philadelphia Eagles better than Detroit top to bottom? Okay, I'll say this, right? I think Detroit has been the hotter team, right? I think Detroit has been the hotter team. But when you really go player for player, seriously, let's not even really joke about this. When you really go player for player, the Lions not fucking with the Eagles. I'm sorry. And I think the Detroit Lions have a great roster. I really, really do. But when you really go player for player, when you really go position group by position group, I mean, I think the Lions are deeper at running back, right? You know, we got Saquon, and then they got Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. That's smash and dash. Well, no, smash and dash was Lindell White and Chris Jones in Tennessee a while back. But when you Sonic and Knuckles, right? That's what they're calling them now, Sonic and Knuckles. I think Detroit has a deeper running back room with those two players alone, but neither of those players are better than Saquon Barkley. Neither of them. Neither of them. But again, when you go blow for blow, player for player, it's not a conversation. It's not. AJ Brown is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Stop playing games. I'm taking Devontae Smith over Jameson Williams, right? I would probably take Sam Laporta. Has he been healthy this year? Has Sam Laporta been healthy this year? Let me see something. So Sam Laporta, he's played in 9 games this year. So he's been in and out of the lineup. Sam Laporta is not really having the season he had last year. So I would take Dallas Goedert over Sam Laporta, even though Laporta is one of the hot up and coming tight ends, you know, but he's not healthy right now. He's been off the field. He's played in 9 games though. He's been there, but he's not having the season he had last year. Nonetheless, though, I think I really, really like Sam Laporta's game. I love Sam Laporta. Love Sam Laporta's game. Love it. Love it. But I'm taking A.J. Brown over Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sorry. I'm taking A.J. Brown over Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I love Amon-Ra St. Brown's game. I think he's phenomenal. But I'm taking A.J. Brown. It's no conversation. It's no conversation if you ask me. I'm taking our secondary over their secondary. I am. I'm taking our defense over their defense. I am. I'm taking our defense over their defense. I just am. But again, I think Detroit deserves all the praise in the world. I think Detroit should be the number 1 team in the NFL based off they've been playing. Detroit has been playing phenomenally. They've been hot. They put up multiple 40-point, 50-point games. You know, they are a well-oiled machine. They are a well-oiled machine. A well-oiled machine. I will not take anything away from Detroit. But if they fans got a line, I'll start nitpicking. Where we at? Oh yeah, by the way, J Love, again, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, man. My man Dank Bird Gang with the $5 super chat. He says, I swear I've been watching you longer than 4 years. Was saying you're next up. Then Jacob came calling, and I said, see, my boy made it. Well, I ain't make nothing because they let your boy go. They let your boy go, but it's all good, man. We on the bigger and better things. You know, sometimes people don't know what they got till it's gone. You feel what I'm saying? But no, man, I started making content in 2020. I vividly remember because I graduated college in 2017. No, wait. Hold on. Time's out now. Hold on. No, I started making content in 2019. Damn. No, yeah. No, for sure. Right? I think. Now y'all got me questioning my own damn timeline. Now I'm not even sure when, but I'm pretty sure I started making content the same year we drafted Quez Watkins and yes, I started making content in 2020 because we drafted Jalen Reagor, we drafted Quez Watkins, we drafted Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? I vividly remember because one of my first videos I ever made was, breaking down the Quez Watkins, draft and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. I started making content in 2020. My man Anthony Chops Crowback, he says, if you can take away the middle of the field and pick on that defense, Detroit can be got. Birds are peaking at the right time. I agree. You see, here's the thing about Detroit's defense that makes me skeptical about them. They haven't had to play 4 quarters in quite some time. Detroit's defense has had the luxury of an offense that's got up early so quickly that they can kind of pin their ears back and kind of play free. But what happens when you get into a 4-quarter game? The Eagles, tried and true. The Eagles defense has had to get into some knuckle draggers. You feel what I'm saying? I think the Eagles defense is built. Maybe the only defense in the NFC that's built well enough to run with Detroit. I believe that. I really believe that. Some of you guys may say, Tone, you're crazy. You're a homer. Whatever. The Eagles defense has been proving week after week after week that they're not a fluke, that it doesn't matter who they play. They're going to show up and do exactly what they're expected to do. So I think there's only really one defense in the NFC that can handle Detroit, or at least humble them a little bit. And I think that's ours. That's just my opinion, though. You ain't got to agree. It's all good. I don't take it personal. Shark with the $5 super chat. And thank you again, Anthony, for the super chat, too. Shark back again. He says the Lions are playing better right now. The Eagles have a better roster top to bottom and will be playing better in the postseason. We have yet to peak. Well, that's the goal, right? The goal is to peak at the right time. The funny thing about Detroit is they've been relatively hot for a long time. And there's moments where I think it was in that Jags game. They were up by double digits. They going for it on 4th down. They're just going for the kill. And I'm like, oh, you guys are cocky like that. Oh, you guys are arrogant like that. Oh. I mean, look, I get it, right? You want to make sure you put them out of their misery. I get it. But again, I'm just curious who they're going to be when that defense has to play 4 quarters. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Thank you for the super chat, Shark. All right, let's get back to these. Let's see. Let's see. My man Infamous in the building. He says, nah, they played 4 quarters defensively with the Texans, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Vikings. Hey, Infamous. Are you for real? Are you for real? Do you believe those teams you just mentioned? Are you for real? I know you're a Commanders fan, and I know you're a football fan above all else. But really? Do you really believe the Vikings? Infamous? When you watch, do you really trust the Vikings? Because I don't. I don't trust the Vikings at all. The Cardinals. Do you really trust them? I don't. Who else? The Texans. Do you really trust the Texans right now? Would you consider the Texans a contender? I wouldn't. But regardless, though, my point is, he said the Cardinals got an MVP candidate. You laughing because you know what the hell I'm talking about. Infamous. You laughing because you know what I'm saying to you. You know what? That's why you laughing, because you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say what I said to you. Oh, man. You laughing because you know exactly what I'm saying to you. Listen, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, man. Listen. Daquan is supposed to be excited. Daquan Adams, he's supposed to talk like this, right? Even though I talk my ish, right? Even earlier when I was messing with him. He's supposed to talk like this. He's supposed to be this confident, right? He's supposed to think that Detroit gonna win it all. That's his role. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So I'm not mad at Daquan for being a supporter of his team. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. But nonetheless, though, like I said, the point of this live stream is to always gut check ourselves and say, you know what? We got the Rams this Sunday. We got the Rams. See, you see how easy it is to get wrapped up in what's to come versus what's in front of you? That's why this live stream is going this way. I'm so glad my man Denk Bergang said what he said just now, because this was the premise. This was the angle that I was taking. Talk about the Rams, sprinkle in the Lions, see how far we could take that, get back to the Rams, then get back to the Lions, and then get back to the Rams. That was the angle for today's show. That's the angle for today's show. To challenge us, to challenge ourselves, to keep the main thing the main thing. It's not easy. It's not easy. But this is the challenge. My man Infamous says, Rams gonna beat y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Rams, didn't you? I said, hey, Rams. Hey, Infamous, didn't you say that about the Commanders? Well, no, I take that back. You actually said that we were going to win. You hedged your bet. You hedged your bet. So I ain't going to say you said that, but you was talking crazy. You was talking crazy. You was talking crazy. Infamous, you my dog. But just remember, you ain't got many legs to stand on right now. You ain't got many legs to stand on right now. I just want y'all to know, Infamous hedged his bet last week. He hedged it. He said he knew they was going to lose. Okay. All right. All right. All right. 2-game losing streak. Can you guys turn it around? I think you can. But it all remains to be seen. 2-game losing streak by the Commanders. 2-game. Granted, very tough opponents. Steelers, Eagles, not easy. Not easy. Those Pennsylvania teams are tough. You feel what I'm saying? Those Pennsylvania teams ain't, you know what I mean? It's not easy. So it's not easy. No, he's right. It's not easy. Steelers and Eagles in 4 days, woo, that's not easy for anybody. It's not easy. That was a tough stretch for them. And on top of that, Jalen Daniels is dealing with an injury. But we're not going to give him that cop out, are we? Because some of them were maybe not Infamous. Maybe not Infamous. He was talking crazy earlier in the season. But I will give my man credit for this. When the game got here, He said, listen, I think y'all actually going to win. He did say that. So I will concede that. I will concede that. But other than Infamous, those other cocky, disgusting Commanders fans was talking greasy. Wasn't it Infamous? You would know better than me. I know you're in those circles. They was talking greasy. And they were humbled. So that's why I got respect for my man Infamous, because he's honest. We don't agree on a lot of things, but he's honest. He's honest. And I respect honesty. Just how Daquan Jones, right? I mean, Daquan Adams. He's honest. He's being honest. He's being true to self, right? He's being honest with himself. You know, now honesty isn't always rooted in truth, but he's being honest with himself. He's telling his own truth. So that's why I respect Daquan Adams and Infamous, because at the end of the day, they are supposed to do what they're supposed to support their teams. But every now and again, you got to remind them who they are. You got to remind them that you're not on our level yet. You got to remind them that you got to crawl before you can walk. You got to remind them that you got to walk before you run. And before you run, or you got to run before you can fly. You feel what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. But, you know, I think regardless, though, I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to take care of business on the road against the Rams. I really, really do. I think the Eagles defense is playing at such a high level. The level of communication, I mean, they're getting better and better every single week. And the scary part about it is I ask myself, how good can this defense be for real? Because they're playing at such a high level right now. They're playing at such a high level. They did a good job making Joe Burrow uncomfortable in that second half, making Jordan Love uncomfortable, making Jaden Daniels uncomfortable, right? I think the best quarterbacks the Eagles have faced this year has been Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Jordan Love. Everybody below that, I mean, everybody else after that is kind of like, you can argue about it. But I think the best quarterbacks the Eagles have played this year have been Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, and Jordan Love. And we beat all of them. We beat all of them. But I got a strong feeling, though. Again, we talked about the injury report earlier. I got a strong feeling that they will be without. The Eagles will be without Devontae Smith, though. He's been dealing with a hamstring for a minute, and I think it's finally bit him in the ass a little bit. He was limping when he left that Commanders game, on his birthday. So there's a strong chance Smitty doesn't play. You still got AJ Brown. You still got Saquon Barkley, obviously, Dallas Goedert. That should be enough to beat the Rams. That should be enough to beat the Rams. I would gladly sit Devontae Smith to make sure he's ready for Baltimore. I would gladly sit him this week just so he's ready for Baltimore. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even make him get on the plane. I say, Smitty, stay home. Stay home. Just stay home. My man Herb T, he says, bro, was you in the Army or something? No, I wasn't in the Army. No, I wasn't. Nah. What do I, Herb, do I give that vibe? Do I get that vibe, Herb? But nah, I wasn't in the military. Shout out to those who are enlisted, those who were enlisted, our veterans and active duty members. Shout out to them, man. Not an easy job, not an easy role to play. A ton of sacrifice being away from your family. Sacrifice, putting your life on the line in foreign territory. One thing I will say though, When I was in high school, my parents said, listen, you got two options. You're either going to college or you're going to the military. My parents said that. Either it's college or the military. She said, my parents said, hey, choose a ship. They said, it's either going to be scholarship or it's going to be military ship. My parents was honest. They said it's either going to be scholarship or it's going to be military ship. Take your pick. Take your pick. I said, you know what? I'll take scholarship. I was a bookworm growing up. I was that kind of kid. I was a smart kid growing up. So I said, you know what? I'll go to college. But again, I have so much respect for our military. I have so much respect for veterans. I actually believe this country doesn't do enough for our veterans. I firmly believe that. Growing up in Philly, I've seen a lot of homeless people who were veterans, a lot of them. And some of them suffer from their own form of mental illness, be it PTSD, or depression or schizophrenia. I mean, look, I'm not a doctor, but my wife has her master's in counseling and psychology. And she's worked with various, she's mainly worked with kids while she was going through her schooling, and she's worked with families and whatnot a lot. My wife works for the military. My wife works in the education department for the military. My wife isn't a veteran, but she works for the military. But I've always felt that this country doesn't do enough for veterans. That's just my opinion, and that's not me trying to go against the grain or trying to be problematic. I mean, I think we all can agree that there are a lot of, I don't know if there's a stat to be able to track this, but I'm really curious to know how much of our country's homeless population are former military. I would love to know how much of the country's homeless population is former or veterans. I don't know if there's a stat out there or a way to be able to track that. But I feel like it's a lot of them. At the bare minimum, they should be able to have free health care. They should be able to come home to an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should be able to come home and be able to get their benefits without an issue. It's crazy. But that's a different conversation. I don't want to serious us out. Sorry about that. Sometimes I go off on tangents and I get passionate about things. But yeah, man. I'm not former military, but I got a ton of respect for him. A ton of respect. All right, let's get to some of these comments, man. Let's see. But regardless, though, look, man, Eagles, Rams, this Sunday night football. Man, I'm excited. Man, it feels like forever since we've seen the Eagles ball. You feel what I'm saying? It seems like forever. Let's see. My man Infamous got a comment here. He says, I don't know how much you know about I don't know how much you know about history, but one of my uncles was a Tuskegee Airman. He has some serious PTSD. He can't even sleep in the house. He sleeps outside in the tent. Bro, it'd be like, first of all, shout out to your uncle. I thank him for his service. But to your point, Infamous, there are people who they experience so much. Like some of them can't sleep in a bed because they can't. It's uncomfortable. They got to sleep in a closet or in a tent, like he said, because it's they find peace there, whatever it may be, man. But man, it's unfortunate. Taekwon TV, what's going on, my man? He says, "What up, Tone? Missed a few shows, but you the guy. You already know, Taekwon. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you for showing up, man. Thank you." Anthony says, "Call in soon." Let me see. I'm trying to think. Let's do. Let's do a call in. Let's schedule a call in for Monday. Oh shoot, I'm tripping. Infamous, my bad. I'm tripping. My bad. Infamous, he says, Tone, last year y'all couldn't even see us in the rear view mirror. Now we in your blind spot. Yo, I love it, man. He said, now we in your blind spot. Always remember, objects may appear larger than they are. Yo, Infamous, you funny, bro. You are funny. Oh my God. You are funny. That was good. That was good. That was good. I like that. I like that. I can't front. I like that. Talk heavy. I like that. Listen, I told y'all a while ago, right? I like a competitive division. I like a competitive. I want the Giants to be good. I want the Commanders to be good. I want the Cowboys to be good. I want a competitive division because all that's going to do is force us to be better. I'm not one of those guys that wants to cakewalk through the division. I don't want that. I don't want a cakewalk division. I swear I don't. I want my division to be a gauntlet. I want it to be a dogfight. Because all that's going to do is make the Eagles a better team and vice versa. So, hey, listen, that was a good line, though. I'm glad you paid for that one. You got your money's worth for that one. That was a good one. That was a good one, Infamous. Hey, listen, I salute you. I salute you. That was a good one. Shout out to him. Shout out to bro. Hey, yo, matter of fact, Infamous, I'm pretty sure you already know who this dude is, but hey, Infamous, you know who Jakey Rondo is, right? You know who Jakey Rondo is, right? Infamous, you got to know who he is. I know you do. If you're a Commanders fan, you know who Jakey Rondo is. Bro, Jakey Rondo is the man, bro. He's hilarious. I got so much respect for Jakey Rondo, bro. His content is hilarious, bro. He is hilarious. Jakey Rondo is one of the funniest dudes out there, bro. He called NASA on AJ Brown. He called Delisandro and said, "Hey, is y'all putting crack in the cheesesteaks?" He called Delisandro and said, "Hey, is y'all putting crack in the cheesesteaks?" Yo, this boy crazy. Yo, he crazy, bro. Shout out to bro. Jakey, bro. Yo, he funny, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's all love with him. It's all love with him, bro. I got a lot of respect. I got a ton of love for Jakey Rondo. A ton of love. He funny as hell. And like he naturally, like he's like naturally funny. He naturally funny. No, I ain't gonna lie though. This is the last thing I'll say about it though. He always cracked me up when he started his clips, right? And he always be like, "Why is you smiling? Why is you laughing? Y'all Eagles fans, why are you smiling?" Every time, it's like, yo, I be laughing though. I be laughing, bro. It's like he know. It's like he know that the Eagles fans be watching them shows and be cracking up, bro. He be knowing. I watched his clip where he broke down where he was reacting to the Eagles Commanders game. He said, "Why is y'all laughing?" Like, this boy crazy. Bro, I rock with him, yo. I rock with him, man. I rock with yo. He called AJ a Decepticon, bro. He called him a Decepticon. Bro, he lit, man. He lit. Shout out to bro, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to him, man. He said, bro hates Benjamin St. Juice. Oh, man, that's crazy. But yeah, man, Eagles, Rams this Sunday. Matter of fact, before we get out of here, I want to look at the upcoming week for week 12. I want to see what games is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's check out some of these matchups. Let's check out some of these matchups. So let's see what we got. Let's see. Schedule. All right. All right, let's see what we got. It's week 12. Let's see. And it's Thursday. We got Thursday night football. All right, let's check this out, y'all. Let's see what we got coming up. So tonight we got Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Who y'all got in that game? Who y'all got in that game? I got Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh gonna smoke their boots, yo. I feel like Pittsburgh gonna smoke them. Pittsburgh gonna smoke them. I think that goes without saying. I think that goes without saying. I got Pittsburgh in that game. All right, let's go to the next one. So Minnesota and Chicago. I got Chicago in that game. I liked what I saw from Chicago's offense against the Packers. I'm taking Chicago over Minnesota. I'm taking Chicago over Minnesota in that game. And it's a divisional game. I like Chicago. And they're home. I understand Chicago hasn't been the best, but I feel like Chicago figured something out in that game against the Packers. Caleb Williams, in my opinion, I think that was the best I've seen Caleb Williams look. When I saw him on that potential game-winning drive, wheeling and dealing, they should have won that game. They should have won that game, bro. I can't believe they let the Packers block that kick. They should have won that game. So I'm rolling with the Bears in that game. I like the Bears in that game. Devontae says, who's locking up Addison and Jefferson? Listen, that Chicago defense is good, bro. That Chicago defense is one of the better defenses. I'm not saying they're top 5 or anything, but Chicago has a pretty decent defense. I like Chicago in this game. I really do. I understand that Minnesota is 8-2 and people are buying the hype with them, but I'm not. I like Chicago in this game for some reason. Exactly. You can't lock up Jetta. You gotta just steer them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't stop Jay Jetta. You gotta just, kind of make them pivot a little bit. Do that make sense? You're not gonna stop him, but you gotta try to make it difficult. But I like the Bears in this game. I do. Yo, Big William said we did. Yo, we did too, right? We did in 2022. We definitely did. Yes, Jalen Johnson is the truth. The Eagles were trying to trade for him, I think, last year or the year before. I can't remember, but it didn't work out. I like Jalen Johnson a lot, and he's a professional. He's a really, really smart player. All right, let's move on. So, Detroit at Indianapolis. Ooh, this is interesting. I think Detroit wins the game, right? I do think Detroit wins the game. But I got a feeling the Colts are going to make it ugly. I could be off. I could be totally off. But it's a road game. I think Detroit wins. Matter of fact, no, I know Detroit wins. Detroit is going to win the game. But the Colts are going to make it interesting somehow. I just don't know how. I have nothing to back it up. But I just got a feeling it's a road game. You know, maybe the Colts muck it up a little bit. Maybe they muck it up a little bit. But I'm rolling with Detroit in that game. I think Detroit ultimately wins by 2 possessions. But I think the Colts are going to try to make it interesting. And it will be interesting for a little bit. But I think ultimately Detroit, I think Detroit just pulls away and destroys them. So about 2 possessions. All right. New England at Miami. I'm taking, see, this is an interesting matchup because Miami has been coming on as of late. But New England, and it's a divisional game. I'm taking Miami in that game too. Infamous said, I just peaked Tone be watching games at 12, not 1. Yeah, bro, I'm in the Central Time Zone now. Bro. Oh, Dank says I'm taking the Pats. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at it though. That's the kind of game I stay away from. That's like if and only if I was a betting man. If I was a betting man, this is the kind of game I stay away from. But I got Miami in that game. All right, Tampa Bay at New York, and Tampa Bay is they're supposed to be getting Mike Evans back, and the Giants benched Daniel Jones for Danny DeVito. What is his name? Tommy DeVito. What's his name? What's his name? Danny DeVito. Tommy DeVito. Yeah, Tommy Cutlets. Yeah, Tampa Bay all day. I'm rolling with Tampa Bay, and they get Mike Evans back. I'm taking Tampa Bay in that game. All right, let's scroll down. All right. We got Dallas at Washington. I got Washington in that game. I think the Commanders win. You know, look, even with an injured Jaden Daniels, and look, he's probably been really, really appreciating this mini bye week, and they still haven't had their bye week. That's the thing, man. They haven't even had a bye week yet. That's crazy to me, man. Yo, Infamous, when's your bye week? Can somebody tell me when the Commanders' bye week is? Is it week 13? Week 14? Like, Washington's going to win this game, by the way. I mean, I don't think it's a question. Washington is going to win this game. And I think Washington wins it by double digits. Week 14, damn, that sucks. Washington wins that game by 2 possessions minimum, double digits. Carolina, Kansas City is dog walking Carolina. We're not even going to waste our time with this. Kansas City is dog walking Carolina. Point blank, period. We're not going to waste too much time on that. All right, Tennessee at Houston. That is an interesting game. I understand Tennessee has been very inconsistent, but Tennessee has a really, really, really good defense. Denard Wilson has that defense playing lights out. But Houston is getting healthier. And they're the home team. I'm rolling with Houston in this game. I'm rolling with the home team. I got the Texans winning this game. Let's get to Denver at Vegas. I love what Sean Payton is doing with Bo Nix. I love what Bo Nix is looking like under Sean Payton. I like Denver in this game. I think Denver wins by double digits as well. Denver is going to dog walk them. They're going to dog walk them. I think Bo Nix is going to smoke them. I really, really like what Sean Payton is doing with Bo Nix. I really do. I think Bo Nix is challenging Jaden Daniels right now for Rookie of the Year. As a matter of fact, let's ask that question since my man Infamous is in the building. Who do you guys have right now for Rookie of the Year? Are you rolling with Bo Nix? Are you rolling with Jaden Daniels? Who y'all rolling with? Bo Nix has come on lately. He's come on. Look, remember, we still got 7 games left. And also, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check something. I think let me double check something. So as of right now, the Broncos, they're 6-5. They're the 7th seed, right? So as of right now, they have a playoff opportunity. They're in the running for the playoffs. The Commanders, you're the 7th seed, 7-4, in the running for the playoffs. I mean, look, Bo Nix is 6-5. Jaden Daniels is 7-4. You know, I'm not trying to split hairs or anything, and you guys are both the 7th seed in your respective conferences. So all I'm trying to say is I think Bo Nix is pushing Jaden Daniels right now. He's creeping up. If we're being unbiased, Bo Nix is creeping up on him. He's creeping. He's creeping. But I do still have Jaden Daniels ahead. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to be biased here because he's a Commanders guy. I still have Jaden Daniels ahead. And I do think Jaden Daniels will ultimately win it. But I also believe that if both teams make the playoffs, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I think I'm leaning Jaden Daniels still. I'm still leaning Jaden Daniels. But let's not pretend Bo Nix ain't creeping, because he is. All right. San Francisco at Green Bay. That is a very interesting game. Because San Fran, in my opinion, they're not winning nothing this year. They're a shell of themselves. They've been battling injuries all year long. Their defense is nowhere near what we're used to it being. Green Bay, I don't trust Green Bay. I don't trust Green Bay. I mean, I got Green Bay winning this game, but I don't trust Green Bay, like just overall. Do you guys trust Green Bay overall? I don't. But I think Green Bay will beat San Fran. I do believe that. I do think Green Bay will beat San Fran, though. Let's move on. All right. And last but not least, we have Seattle or Arizona at Seattle. That's going to be a fun game to watch because those teams are battling out. If Seattle wins that game, they could take the lead in the division, right? Let me look at that. The NFC West. So the NFC West is tight, man. And here's the thing about San Fran: they're still in it. San Fran can still win the division. It's possible. Arizona 6-4. Seattle is 5-5. Rams are 5-5. 49ers are 5-5. I mean, listen, that Cardinals Seahawks game is a pick'em, if you ask me. I think that's a pick'em. I really think that's a pick 'em. But I got Arizona in that game. I'm taking Kyler Murray over Geno Smith. So I'm taking Arizona in that game. As Blunt says, Green Bay is overhyped. I agree, bro. I agree. I feel like Green Bay is so mid. As Blunt taking Seattle. Huh. So this is one of those games where it's like, okay, you pick them. I think Arizona wins, though. And then obviously the Eagles at Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the Birds all day. It's not even a question. I think the Eagles win by double digits. I think the Eagles win by double digits. I think the Rams don't even score 20 points. Cam McBeth said Jordan Love is Will Levis with a sidearm release. Damn, that's disrespectful. I don't know if I would go that far, but that's disrespectful. He said he's Will Levis with a sidearm. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't agree with that, by the way. But that is crazy. But hey, listen. Hey, y'all. We've been chronicling this season, right? Remember before the season started, what did I say about Jordan Love? Can anybody remind me? Can anybody remember? Before the season started, what did I say about Jordan Love? Let's see who's been here from the beginning. Before the season started, what did I say about Jordan Love? Molly Trey. Hey, there we go. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. Cam McBeth. Anthony. Molly Trey. Doesn't that Jordan Love season look a lot like the 2023 Hurts season? Let's be honest though. Doesn't Jordan Love's 2024 season remind you a lot of that Jalen Hurts 2023 season? But Cam, to your point, yes, he didn't, but he still had a lot of turnovers though. Jalen ended the season with, I think, 19 turnovers in 2023. But my point is, though, in terms of just turning the ball over. Just turning the ball over. Pressed what on accident? What are you talking about? Let's see. Let's see. Baltimore at Los Angeles. That's a tough game, yo. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it, yo. I'm taking the Chargers over Baltimore. I don't think that's crazy to say. I'm taking the Chargers over Baltimore. I'm taking the Chargers. I like what Jim Harbaugh is doing with Justin Herbert. He's not telling him to throw the ball like 50 times a game. I don't know, man. Listen, that Chargers defense is good. That Chargers defense is good, man. I'm telling you. I'm taking the Chargers in that game. Devontae says, I got Ravens and Lamar. Listen, we're not talking. Look, man. You know, I think the Chargers win that game. The Chargers have a better defense, a way better defense. Like, their defense is more complete. Ravens have a really strong front seven, but their secondary is booty. I like the Chargers. But wouldn't you say Baltimore relies on the run too? Every time Baltimore tries to force feed us with Lamar Jackson throwing the ball 30 plus times, it never really ends well. It never ends well. Sorry if there's any sort of connectivity issues. Let me see here. But yeah, man, I like Baltimore in that. I mean, I like the Chargers in that game. I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers in that game. But anyway, Eagles, Rams, Sunday Night Football. I got the Eagles winning by double digits. I'm not exactly sure what my score prediction is. We're going to save that for game day. But I got the Eagles winning that game by double digits. I'm just not sure what it is yet. But that's pretty much the show, y'all. I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. I want to give a shout out to all you guys in the live chat. I especially want to give a shout out to all you guys who donated today. My man Infamous 2K, Shark donated several times today. Anthony Chops Crowback, Dank Bird Gang, my man J Love donated big time today. Shout out to him. Big Dog Reese, thank you guys so much for donating to the channel. You know, all you guys are really, really fantastic. My man Devontae with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Devontae. I really do appreciate that. Oh, let me make sure I give my man his wrench too. Shark. Let me make sure I take care of him. That's my guy. Let's see. Shark, let's make sure you got a wrench. All right. Shark has his wrench. All right, we straight. So again, y'all. He says, Devontae says, will you be doing a play-by-play for Sunday night? I normally don't do play-by-plays. That's not really my thing. You know, that's not really something I do. I like to actually relax and watch the game. And plus, I get really, really animated. The only reason I did a play-by-play last week is because Simone had asked me, and she was doing it with DraftKings. So I don't really do play-by-plays, Devontae, unfortunately. I tried doing it before, and it's really hard for me to focus. It's hard for me to focus because, when I watch the games, I'm a note taker. I take a ton of notes when I watch these games. So it'd be really hard for me to do that while I'm streaming. So regardless, you guys will be getting a live stream from me. You guys will be getting a pregame, and you guys are also getting a postgame, regardless of the outcome. So I really do appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. Devontae, thank you again for your super chat, brother. It means a lot. All right, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. Smash that like button, And by the way, smash that like button. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And you guys have been tuned into a Philadelphia Eagles edition, an 8-2 edition, an NFC East leading edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.